All right, final section. All right, in case no one knows me, hi, I'm Karen. I'm a programmer at a research and development company. I'm also a Wong Python track lead as well. Oof. All right, so quick question. How many of you work or working or know Microsoft Excel? So like, have experience with Microsoft Excel at least. I just out of curiosity. Nice. Oh, daily. Oh, everyone. Nice. Okay, second question. How do you guys find about Microsoft Excel? Oh, Soumya, you're lucky. And I'll tell you why that next. Like, are you guys finding it easy to use? Are you guys finding easy, like, is it like you used to it, or like it's so difficult? Nice. Yes, some of you have actually pointed out a couple like actually really great point about at Microsoft Excel, which for those of you who haven't joined in, because interesting thing, fun fact, I learned Excel at school and everything, but in like at my workplace, I do have coworkers who is like don't really deal with Excel, like rarely deal with Excel and don't really know Excel at all. So just for the sake of it, I'm gonna introduce our favorite Microsoft tools. Favorite. So so Microsoft Excel is a kind of spreadsheets. Excel is just a nice name of the called spreadsheet. So another version is they have another version which is like Google spreadsheet. Google has another version as well. And then if you use Linux, which hopefully some of you here use it, they have another version of spreadsheet as well. So it's called Calc. So basically, Microsoft Excel itself is the most popular tool to display and manipulate our data in an organized way. That's why everyone is using it. It provides a great list of functions to manage the data. They have tons of data, function, feature. We might not know them, but they're there. So that's the pro of the Excel. That's why we use it every day. But the con is so funny. When I try to type on Google, it kind of, it says itself like one of some of the main disadvantage about Excel is could be very complicated because there's a lot of functions. We don't know where to start. We like maybe like most of it can you only use like 10% of the like function if you're lucky of the Excel itself. It's a really powerful tool. Sometimes a lot of times slows you down a lot. So because it's running a lot in the background, so it actually very slow, especially you have a huge amount of data. And then also both like, with the complication and the slow as well, and it combined and it makes it hard to use. So what is Openpyxl? So if you read it literally, it's open source Python Excel integration tool. So Openpyxl is a Python library that reads write natively for Microsoft Excel. And then so with the certain extensions, so just keep in mind if your company or your work using Google Suites, it might not work well because Google spreadsheets that actually have a different extension. Some of them actually not compatible with each other. So just be a little mindful in case you are fully using Google Suites at work. So it's written based on PHP. Excel basically is they have all the functions on PHP Excel, which is also a library for PHP, and then bring it here because it's such useful tools. It provides a lot of advanced features like charts and style, even the conditional formatting and Excel formulas to make it make it work and make it happen. Can use like the one of the amazing about Openpyxl, also any Excel integrated tool is like you can use the function alongside NumPys and Pandas. So you need if you're getting familiar with Pandas and NumPy, you can literally, you don't need to go open an Excel, click this and then equal B3 slash A2, something like that. You can just use NumPy to manipulate with other functions and also Panda as well. So in other words, it's actually a very nice way, an alternative way to automate process, such as creating, editing tables and charts. Like later on, you will see I'm about to introduce some of the basic functions about Openpyxl. It's actually, if you're doing a very small amount of data, or like if it's like a one-time couple times, it could be very complicated. But when you do it like daily, is actually like spending that couple hours building with that function, building that Python script, actually can save you like a lot of time, and which it happened to me, literally happened to me right now. So that's why I want to introduce this to you guys. All right, so we're gonna talk about these four main things: is how to read and write, how to insert it, how to integrate with NumPys and Pandas, and then make charts as well. All right. All right, any questions so far? Okay, Stella has a question. Let me read it.
I can read the question for you, Karen. So
I can.
Okay.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Is there a way of having Excel formulas in the output for co-workers who only use Excel?
Great question, Stella. So it actually input. So there are specific functions. If you're very familiar with Excel formulas, there is the Python library has a function to import, to to translate the formula into their way and do the calculation. But then unfortunately it cannot be outputted. And it doesn't work like the other way. So in the Excel, it would just be numbers. So it won't be a formula itself. It won't show any formula whatsoever. So that is one of the tricky thing about this Openpyxl. It doesn't go that way. Yeah. All right, let's dive in. Maitri, would you mind sharing the code, please? Would you mind sharing that collab notebook?
Sure. So here's the link.
Thank you. So everyone can grab the notebook. So friendly reminder, as usual, remember to go to File, like Save, to copy in Drive. And then it will create a copy for you. All right. So meanwhile, everyone's getting ready for this fun session. I'm just gonna go through oops. Sorry. Sorry, Stephanie. Go through like a very basic thing about Excel first. So this is an Excel sheet. This is not in Google. This is not in Google. This is the Google spreadsheet. Oh, okay. This is a Google spreadsheet, and then but like it's the same thing. It works the same as Excel in the in what we're gonna learn today. So this is the itself is a workbook. So we are saving the Excel file itself as a workbook, and this, like the sheet one, is a worksheet. Just in case, because we so used to it, we so adapt to it. So sometimes we thought we saved the Excel, but we actually saving Excel workbook. So I just need to clarify a bit in here, so that you know why the code works like this. All right, everyone is ready. Let's do this. All right, let's start. Okay, so I'm hyper today. So for those of you who use it at home, you need to install this. You need to install the library. So just use the pip install Openpyxl and you will get you there. So when I use Openpyxl, like how you call import numpys as np, because the name is too long, don't want to type everything. So I use OPX. So I use the sucker as OPX. So you just click here, let it load, let it load. All right, is ready. So because in Colab is pre-installed, so that's why it said that the requirement is satisfied already. So but then at home, if this is the first time you just install it, it should tell you something different. So how do you read and write? Let's start with creating an empty workbook first. So basically, you import Openpyxl. You import the workbook module from the library first. You create a workbook and call new sheets. And basically, we need to check the sheet names. So just to see, like, oh, you know what is there on an empty workbook. So you will see the sheet name has a divide, like, you know, has the sheet which is the default sheet, and also we create a sheet called new/sheet. So it's right here. So remember I said workbook and worksheets. So in Excel, the way you can do it is to just, like, you know, switching between the two sheets, right? If you want a sheet 2 and sheet 1. In Python, it's more traditional and it's more like, you know, it's more like in command that way. So you have to make sure, you have to check which sheet is which worksheet is the active one. So you just call worksheet equal to the active worksheets at the workbook. So if you do, and then let's double check. So we use the command worksheet ws.title to check which sheet is the active one. So right now it shows this defaulted worksheet is the active one, but well, we created a worksheet and we want to use that worksheet to write something, right? So all we have to do is to do worksheet active equal to 1. 1 means the first worksheet, and then call it again. And then to type title. And then you can see, I know why. Let me see, sorry. WS, oh, that's why. What? That. Let me see what is going on here. Hold on, sorry. Okay, so right now the current sheet is this, and then I'm gonna change to the worksheet into a workbook. Integer has no worksheet will add Why it's not working? How come? Let me copy this. It's weird. Sometimes it doesn't work. I tried it before. Go on. Okay, I'm gonna go back to this. So basically, the way to change it is to if you check out the functions on the website, is you basically you have to call the number of sheets, the index of the sheets, not instead of the sheet name, to make it to make it as an active. Oh, it works for you? Okay, good, Stella, good. I don't know. It's sometimes it doesn't work. So the way to show it is to check, like, to double check. It's always use a print statement to double check which worksheet you're on. Oh, we run the previous block. Okay. And then with this, oops. There we go. Yay, thanks, Stephanie. Thank you. All right, so now we have an empty workbook with one new fancy worksheet, which is nothing inside. We try to save it. So the way we save it is to use the workbook, save. Yes, collect could be tricky. And then we'll just call it library 101 this time and .excel file. So the fun thing about this webinar is besides the Openpyxl, I'm gonna teach you a couple Unix Linux command that you can use it or the file. It works on Mac. It's slightly different in the Windows, but you guys can try it yourself to take a look what is inside your file in the terminal. Using your own terminal at the local environment as well. So now that we save a worksheet, now that we save this workbook, right? So basically we use this ls, which is list directory command, to check whether it's saved. So you can see here, this is the default folder of the Google Colab, and this is the new file we create. Just be mindful of this, you will see it later. We'll come back to that. But now we successfully create a worksheet. Okay, so now we create one, and how do we load one? So to load the workbook is we want to load library 101, and then, okay, just for the practice sake, sorry, we're gonna do it again. So basically it's the wb.sheet names, and then see it here, it's working. And then so basically we want to check the current sheet name, because we call the sheet by its name. Oh, we actually can do that, yes, as well. And then you can see and double check that you actually call this. You should call the sheet correct. You should call a correct sheet. Any quick questions so far? Any questions so far? Am I doing too fast, too slow? Can I have a B or P? A quick one. Thank you. Thank you, guys. All right, so now we know how to read and write things. We are going to insert some data. So it is the pumpkin spice latte season. So just to demonstrate, we're gonna insert the string pumpkin spice latte into the very first cell on the worksheet. So the way we do it is to worksheet.cell, and then one. This is row. This is column. Oh, so nice, the collabable. So you can tell, like, this is nice. This is a very nice reference to indicate what parameter you have to put. So you can do this. So basically we call worksheet cell value, and then equal to pumpkin, oops, spice latte. So how do we know it is wrong? How do you already know we wrote this? So all you have to do is to print this. And then it should show up pumpkin spice latte. There we go. So simple, simple. So what if we don't want pumpkin spice latte anymore? We're gonna delete it, you know. We're gonna restart everything. So what you have to do to make the cell empty is to call the cell again, like this. And then literally you can just put none. Then you empty the cell. So that one, so easy peasy. So edit, like insert the value and like basically remove an edit. Okay, so now we're gonna do is to insert the row of numbers in the row, because you do it one by one, it's kind of painful, right? No one does it one by one. So what we're gonna do, basically, I'm planning to put 10 random numbers on the first row. So what I'm gonna do is to I'm gonna define the length of the list of numbers first equal to 10. You'll see why I do this. So and then I'm gonna call out. I'm gonna use everyone's favorite random function to get the random numbers. So basically small equals from 1 to 100, print 10 random numbers. So for us to double check, we can do this, and you can see it here. So how do we plug it in then, now that we have the 10 numbers? So what we can do is to use the for loop. So we can do length, basically from 0 to 10. Please plug in. So we're gonna call use the worksheet cell row 1. It's not gonna move, but this is a column. So we're gonna do value equals to the random number of the integer. Sorry, this is supposed to be vice versa if I want to do the row. So it depends. If you want to do the column, you put it. You wanna have the same everything in column A. You do this. You put the I in the front and then 1 at the back. So if you want to do it in row number 1, 10 numbers, you do it vice versa. So that's how it is. And then we basically using the slicing method to call each integer, to gauge each element from a list. So that's how we do this. So now we created beautiful 10 rows of number, but we don't want to see it anymore. What we're gonna do, basically we're gonna do is delete rows 1 and 1. So that would delete everything. That would delete the first row because it's delete rows from 1, and then the column is 1. So that's how you delete when you want to delete everything, or you don't delete specific thing. You can use either delete rows and delete columns to do that. All right. Any questions? Quick questions? If not, can I get a B or a P? Am I going too fast? Going too slow? Thank you. Thank you. Oh, I think someone asked the questions. Okay, so just so you guys, because I know I'm typing everything out. So if you guys actually want, if you guys actually want the model, all the answers, we'll post it on GitHub afterwards. But then you can if you guys want, you can follow along with me first, and then get the answers to verify later. Okay. Okay. Sorry. Oh, I pressed the button. All right. So good. So okay. Here we don't really see what is going on here because we just insert and delete, insert and delete. It's like you're imagining things, like you don't know what is going on. It's like, okay, did I delete the right thing? Did I do the wrong thing? Am I doing it correctly? You don't really know. So let's play with something fun so we can easy to visualize. So in order to do that, we need everyone to actually have a Google Drive. So we need to connect the collab with your own Google Drive first. So what you can do is you click here and then click this button, Mount Drive. So basically, and then it will show you a list of code here. So you just have to click this and then get your authorization code. I'll do it really quick. Sign in, get the code, copy here, and put it here. And then just place it here and press enter. This should actually tell you this is like I'm authorizing things on their like the collab. The collab app is authorized, is getting access on your folder. This is the best way for us to actually visualize. So let's say if we create an Excel file, this like how you're going to see it is to actually put it on your own folder. So I recommend everyone to do that. So I'll give everyone, thank you everyone. Good. Let me know if everyone's good to go. Awesome. You guys are good. Okay, oops. Okay, so let's do this. Okay, let's hide this first. Now let's do a mini quick Unix command lessons again. This is important because it actually tells you where everything is and how to save everything. So we want to check out where is the current list directory. So we're using the same command again. Sorry, not same command. So we want to check out the path of the directory. So we use pw, so it's contents. We want to explore what is inside. What is in here? So we use the list folder to check out what is going on. So we have drive here. We have the library 101 save. We have the sample data. It should be the exact same from above, except now that we connect to the Google Drive, our own Google Drive, it shows up the drive folder. And then what we're gonna do is we actually change the directory to the Google Drive folder, so the Excel file can save it in the correct place. So what we're gonna do, we can do is to cd. We can do exclamation mark cd, contents, drive, and my drive. So that is the actual directory of your stuff. I'm not gonna show it here. So if you want to check, you can actually press this button here, the fourth one from the left panel, and then click the drive. And then if you open this My Drive, it should be all your folders in the main directory of the Google Drive. But I'm not gonna show it because I have a lot of stuff going, I have a lot of stuff there. So, but then if you want to double check what is going on, feel free to check it out over there. So that's what we're gonna do. Feel free to double check the work directory again to see if you're the right drive. So let's see. Okay, let's do this. So now that we design the designated drive, the designated folder we want to put our stuff in, we actually going to do something. We're going to grab something from a different direction, from a different location as well. So remember the sample data from the content. So what we're gonna do is actually, let me show you. The sample content has quite a bit of, has some CSVs that we can play it on with. So let's see. Let me see if that works. All right, so let me. So if you use this command here, you will see the list of folders here that like you can manipulate with. You don't have any actual data, because the background story is because Colab is built for machine learning. Built for machine learning and a lot of like, so that's why I think with integration with Python. So I think that's why they put some sample data for us here to just test it out the model. So that's the background story. But obviously we're not doing machine learning today. No. Opposite of that actually. We're gonna do automation. So I'm just gonna just use one of the files to just play around a bit and then check it out and explore the different function of Openpyxl. So first step, we call Pandas, favorite library of a lot of you. We read CSV, we read. So for the clarity's sake, I actually put the whole path here. Funny thing, you learn to understand where things is put once you start using terminal more and more, which is the terminal I'm talking about, is like something like this, some kind of line. You know where things safe, you be watch out where things is putting in, this. I do think this is a good habit, because when it comes to when you have a lot of file, this is it's good to be organized in general. So for in case one of the code doesn't work, I'm gonna actually call the whole path of the CSV, so you can see content, sample data, and California training. I'm going to use the California housing training CSV to play around with today. So let's call this. So let's call the data frame. Let's check out something. So if you've been with me before, I always say, please check out what data you have here. What is the data? What is going on with the data? So let's see. So we have like this many columns, and then we have the shape of. We have line columns and 17,000 data, 17,000 rows. So how does the data look like? Let's see. So we have longitude, latitude, median income, and median house value. So that's how they generally look like, right? So let's see. So that's how it works. So feel free to explore around. So if you want to take a look, specific things. Oh, they have it here. That's very convenient. Okay, so if you want to check the median house value, you can check it out here like this. So always explore. Please always explore your data before you do anything. Please. It will save you a lot of time. So once we check out the data, So what I'm gonna do is we do a little very quick manipulation. So I'm gonna actually do a quick calculation. Basically, we have, sorry, on here we have do not listen to me. Okay, so you know how we have I'm gonna use the median house value versus the age, versus the housing median age as a calculation, as just like calculation. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna call this column called house value per age. And then how I calculate is the house value versus the age. So for you who are not too familiar with Excel, but more, getting better in Python or acing in Python, this is definitely a good way. For you to do a lot of calculations. I know this is a very simple one. It's just a division. But when you do a lot of like complex like calculation with like filter with everything, Excel could be a lot. The formula is so long, but here on the other hand, any programming language, it could be something very short and sweet. So that's one of the advantage we have here to use this library. All right, we just calculate this house value divided by age. So okay, now that we create this, so let's double check the column again. Per age. Not per age, but I sorry, bad naming, but that's the main goal I'm trying to do here. So we have some numbers here. Nice. Okay, it exists. So let's double check the columns again. Now you can see this is the before, nothing here. This is the after. Great, it's here. Now we're good to go. All right, so because we have 1700 rows here, because we're gonna do some Excels, I don't wanna be too long. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna take the first 50 rows, including the headings, to do the demonstration of the Excel. Now we go back. So basically BF equals to BF head 50. That's how we call. So if you want the last 50 row, tail is the one to go. Tail. Feel free to do your own style, try different things. Like it's always good to explore different, different things. So let's save it to Excel. Content, drive. So I'm going to do the long one again to make sure it's saving, importantly, it's saving the correct path, because I'm very scared it's saved somewhere else. Otherwise, I don't know where it's going to go. Okay, so index false is not to show the index. And then I'm going to call this sheet name housing. So press the button and then it should be here. So this is actually the sheet that I have created. Oh, now it's loading. Woohoo! Woohoo! Yay, it's Google Drive. Okay, so now we can actually visualize what we have put on the Excel sheets. So now we can see everything is here, longitude and everything, house for age. All right. From here, then you might ask, like those of you who's very quick and fast, it's like, Karen, why do I need Openpyxl? Panda is the best thing ever. Why do I need this? Background story. I am working on a project that I am actually creating an automating report. I'm actually creating 10 different automating reports every day to different people. They're very used to seeing an Excel spreadsheet. So if I put them like this, the clients is not gonna like it. Why? Because it's so plain. It's nothing's going on. Because Excel, we're very used to having different colors, different font size, different bolds, like different font style to make everything very clear and identify where is what. So that is the power of Openpyxl. Another powerful what Openpyxl Excel is when you automate stuff, when you automate Excel file, unlike a CSV or a plain Pandas exported Excel file, you can add colors into it. Colors, guys, colors. All right. So let's do some coloring. Okay, so we're gonna call back the. So first of all, we're gonna call back the workbook. We're gonna load the workbook, and then like call the just and then make sure the active sheet. So same thing as before. So title, and you can see it's housing. So housing here. So that's how it is. Oh, Google is very good. It synchronized everything. So basically, every time I update something, it synchronizes it and check it. Which is good. So now we're gonna do so now we know this is the header, but it's very hard to see. I'm gonna add some color first, right? So what I'm gonna do, so the way to do the color is to call the maximum column. It's a very programming way to do it. So it's not the traditional way style of Excel how you do it. So it takes a bit of time, but bear with me on this. So first of all, we're gonna define the max column of this worksheet. So what we're gonna do is to do max column. So if we gonna double check, it will be max column. It's called 10. It's 10, which is, yes, that's what we have because the original file has 9 columns. Now we have 10 columns. So what we're gonna do is using a for loop actually. I in the max. So basically for I in the max column +1. Fortunately, you have to +1 to include the last one. We're gonna do something similar here. This is like the ultimate formula for in manipulating a cell, basically. So we're gonna do this. Excel, so cell 1, so row number 1, each column, each column fonts equal to fonts size equals, let's say I want to put it at 13, and then I'm gonna do color. I'm gonna make sure it's bold, and then we'll do a color. So for color here, anyone who play with Matplotlib and like every color, if you're not too familiar and you have to pick a color, I have a reply to suggest. So if you see Firefox here, type CSS color. Go to the first one, W3 schools, they have amazing color. So a lot of libraries, programming language libraries, if they're doing a lot of visualization, the color reference is actually based on the CSS colors because CSS is the style, like it's the custody style sheet, right? So so you can actually find a lot of reference here. So instead of finding what color it is, you can actually just pick one here. So anyone, any suggestions for the color? Any favorite color here? Cane, awesome. Let's put cane, stylize cane. Okay. So what we're gonna do, if you see it here, we're gonna copy, instead of copy the name, we're gonna copy this code without the hash, So we're gonna do this here with a code. Okay, so let's do this. Okay, So, and then afterwards, so now that we have the font ready, I'm actually gonna do the background. Oh, I'm running a little bit very behind. So I'm gonna speed up a little bit. Okay, so I'm gonna do the pattern. So I'm gonna do the background. So now we have the font color different. I'm gonna have the different, like the background color different as well. So what we're gonna do is to do pattern fill. And then this type pattern, it shows up here what you have to type, pattern name, pattern type equals to solid actually. And then the color is, sorry guys, I wish I had fun with you guys. I'm gonna pick something very quick. I hope I didn't pick something very weird. All right, let's do this. All right, so now we have the font, we have the pattern. So before, so remember, like we have to call the function. Just a quick reminder, I have to call the function, call the module before you actually use them. So let's do this. Something's wrong. Oh, that's why. So they use FG color instead of the color. What is going on? Let's see. Capital letter. And a capital letter. Oh, yeah. She got it right. All right, so let's see. Woohoo. All right, it loads. Now it has some weird color. My bad on the background. I know I don't pick a good one. But you guys get the meaning. Feel free to change another color. And it's to see, you know, to make it like 10 times better than me. I trust you guys can do this. But yes, that's the way to do it. So now you can see, like, even this is black. It's very, like, you know, it's very crunchy. You can't really see much. You know, like, you know, because Excel, we can, like, you know, post it very, the spreadsheets actually very nicely layout. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna go with just the column. So the just column is actually to use the same one. So basically to call out every column, so you call out the length of the column, the maximum length of the column. So you use the text, of the stuff to do this. The comment in below is actually the one that I was trying to do. So if the buffer here, okay, I'm gonna put this right back so you guys know what I'm doing. And then once we get it, we're gonna change the front. Okay, change the front. Let's change the front. All right, so what we have to do is to find, oh no, we don't call it, wrong one, sorry. So all we have to do is to, my bad, so to just change the dimension. No need to change, and no need to make it pretty here. No need. Okay, so it's just a column, 0, and then column width. So you can see there's a lot of typing going on. There's a lot of like indication where we can just use a mouse to do it, but then now we have to like locate everything. So it is quite tricky, especially first time. It's very tedious. Like it's actually harder for you to just go to the Excel sheet for 10 minutes and just fix it. But once you actually need to automate stuff like daily, like me, it's worth it, like I said. So feel free to try it out. Okay, now with just the column width, I'm gonna do one thing before we actually go back to the sheet. So I wanna show you guys. So you know, each column has like some values, but I would just wanna know which one is the max value of each. Like I wanna find out the max value for each column. So what we're gonna do is to do for column in WS columns, same thing here. So we want to find out the max value first. So max value equals to max. We're gonna put it to flow so it's easy to calculate. For cell in column 1 like this. So 1 is means just like, you know, the 1 is the like the 0, the very first row is header. So we're gonna skip the header and then go straight like from 1. That's where we get the values. And then afterward, we're gonna find the cell, the value. So we're gonna locate the cell basically. So cell row and cell column, and actually equals to cell row,
Aaron?
cell. Oh, yes.
We have a quick question from Stella and Q&A. So she's asking if we have any good resources to learn more about Openpyxl.
Okay, Stella, I'll go back to the question once I finish the section. Thank you, Maitri. Maybe we can wait for the session actually finished and let me know. Thank you.
Okay, no problem.
So, gonna do it very quick because we're running out of time. A little time here. Let's do this. So cell dot. Oh, where was I? Okay, for cell in column 1. So same thing here. If the flow cell value equals to max value. So this give us the location of the cells where it needs to max value. It's a long one here, and then because this is a list, it's supposed to only come out 1, but because this is a list, we have to index it we have to slice it to get to the actual value instead of a list, return of the list. So that's what we do, and then we can actually print it. Actually, we can print it out and see how everybody doing here and do what column and row it is. So afterward, we know we're gonna change to the front. We're gonna change the front. How are we gonna do it? It's the same thing. To do, call the front module, and then go to, and then we're gonna go pick a nice color. Sorry guys, okay, hopefully I can pick something good. Okay, this should be a clear one. Hopefully. Let's do this. All right, let's run this cell. Let's see oh, yes, thank you. Typo. Let's see. Run for cell in column. Oh, you guys have fun debugging like me. Let's see what is going on here for cell in cell for cell column 1 if cell flow equals to max value. Oh, where does 0 go? Is it Y? Yes. Woohoo! Let's do this. Cell, okay, cell row, cell column, front go to color. Debugging, eh? Okay. Let's do this. Woohoo! Okay. Now we can see the cell, the column, the column. This is the column. This is a row, right? To like where the max value is. So if we wait for it to refresh it. Don't think it's listening to me. I guess I run it too hard. Okay, let's do this. Interesting, it doesn't let me change. You know what? Since I'm here, I might as well just change something else. Since I'm waiting for it to load anyways. It's actually a lot. So why it's so slow? Because what I'm doing here is actually not faster. But it's good to automate stuff. So let's run this again. Oh, it is here, but it's the colors like, guys, I'm very bad at picking colors, my bad. So you can see it right here. This is like a little bit different than the color. And then this is different colors. But it's kind of show my bad on picking the bad color. But it's slightly different, so you guys can pick a right to show which one's the best. My bad. All right, okay. I'm gonna quickly go through this, and then I'm gonna make a chart. We're gonna make a quick chart, and then we'll wrap up and do the Q&A. Like I said, Openpyxl has a lot of advanced functions, including making the chart. Imagine you don't have to type, you have to move your mouse to do the chart. I mean, this is my dream. So first of all, you can load the workbook as usual. Load the first, and then I'm gonna do a scatter chart today. So what we're gonna do is go charts. Scatter chart. And then so basically, we call it scatter chart, but I want to make some nice saying title, x-axis, y-axis, some basic functions. So basically what I do is, it's actually very straightforward. So title. So today I'm going to do house value versus the age column, which is the new column I create today. So house values versus age, house age. Something like that. And the next axis, title, which will be like the age. And then chart, y-axis, title will be the house value, the value. And then make it clear. All right, so afterward, once you set up everything, we set up the canvas, we're gonna display the data. So the data actually use the module called reference. We call the worksheet. We get the minimum column, which is 10. The maximum column is 10. Minimum row is 1. Oh, it's 2 because number 1 is the title. It's the header. And then the maximum row is actually WS, the worksheet's maximum row. So they have a lot. So Openpyxl has a lot of function indicating where is what. So that's one of the reasons why I didn't list it on the PowerPoint. The slides is just like it's just too many. So you can just start playing with them, and then you get to know where is what and what is like the basic one to use. So let's say a chart. So basically we call the title, we add the data, and then make the shape as 13, and then to place the chart into column, because we have the column K to start with, like it ends with J, so we're gonna call it at K. Okay, let's say, I don't know, 10. Let's do this. Shoop. Whoop, whoop, whoop. And then we type. And then we are waiting. It could take a long time because it's heavy function. Typo. Guys, typo is okay. That's what debugging is for. It's okay. Don't feel discouraged like me. All right, so now it runs. So now it's loading. The chat doesn't come out again. Let me see what is wrong. Add chart, yeah, I did, and let's save the workbook as well. What if I do the shape as 4? Then, okay, I'm gonna try it one more time. If it doesn't work, I will let you guys try something. I will let you guys try your own. Sorry about that, guys. All right, it doesn't work, but trust me, promise, like trust me, it actually creates a chart. So the chart shape, that's a very good question. The chart shape, from my understanding, is how big is the chart? So if you have a big one, you use like 13. But if you want a small one, you use 4. That's my understanding of the chart shape. But then we can definitely confirm it with you. We can definitely confirm it as well. Let's see. I wish it shows. It doesn't show. Let me see if bar chart would be a good one. I just want something to show first. Bar chart makes no sense on here, but well, I mean, let's see. There we go. Whew. Yay! All right, it doesn't make sense, guys. But like the data amount of data we use doesn't make the data we use doesn't make sense. Oh, let's try the 13 versus 4. Let me confirm it. One of your questions. Low. Give us some time. I've been torturing the server a lot today. Let's see. All right, it seems to me it's the size of the difference. It's the size that has the difference. But feel free to let me know. This one, to be real honest with you, I'm not too familiar with. I only use the basic functions to here. But then let me know if you guys notice anything. Like, we are learning here. I definitely want to learn from you guys as well. All right, let's wrap it up. All right. So now we're exploring a lot of fun things today. Let's see. Besides, I go to the Q&A. Before we starting with the upcoming events, let me answer the questions. Sorry, SH, I actually don't know what it is. I try. I wish if I find out, I will let everyone know on the Slack. Stella, the good source to learn about Openpyxl. honestly, to me, from my experience, is to start your own. So it's always good to manipulate with your own, like, your own data, and like how to, especially if you do it like daily, and you like there's a small amount, like the power of the library is like when you have some data, you can do some basic function, basically just the minus, plus, and then add some color. It's very standard, but you have to do it like repetitively and tediously. Writing this script is the best way to do go. So I would suggest to find some W school. I think W school, let me double check actually. Sorry. Uh W school, Openpyxl. Woohoo. No. Ooh, no. Okay, so yeah, unfortunately, like I actually learned it from my way, from my own experience. It's just that I had no choice but to use this. That's how I started it, and then like I start learning about different functions when I want to do something. So I actually don't follow a tutorial. I actually, okay, so what if I had to create this? What if to create that? So that's how I start knowing everything, because Openpyxl has so many functions. You can't even name which one is the main ones, to the point. Like, how Pandas you could, and NumPy you could, depends on what you're doing, like what field you're doing. But like Openpyxl is just really to find the specific function doing the specific way. So that would be my recommendation to try it. Yes. So anyone has any questions before I end? All right. So, all right. Let's see. So like I said, this is the very last section of the Python library. It ends with a beautiful Excel, beautiful Excel with these functions, the library. So we have a upcoming event which is happening in a couple hours, I believe. So feel free to join us to social event. I believe Stephanie mentioned it again. I mentioned a bit more detail on the chat during the lesson. We also have automating business process with Liberty Mutual on the 29th. And then on the next Friday, we have the legal study group again. Channeling here is the amazing co-host with me. So feel free to join us if you want to practice some A's, like, like the interview problem, the technical, like we're working on like patterns, like try to solve the problem together. So yes, and then follow us on social media in case you haven't. Remember, we are on Twitter, we are on LinkedIn, we are on Instagram. Please follow us. And if this is the first time you join, follow us on Slack. Please join us with Slack, because we talk every day there. Anyways, thank you everyone for the last session. Hopefully you guys learn a little bit about everything on this every library. A lot of library going on. It's a lot. So hopefully you guys get to learn something fun, like, use it. It's Python is not, programming language is not as, far away, it's untouchable as like everyone thinks. If you're new to it, it could be happening to the daily life, for example, Excel, you automate things, like you could use Python. So hopefully it's just a little piece of it. So hopefully you guys just keep going, learn and keep learning. And there is a QR code right here on the screen. To please let us know how we did, and anything any other libraries you want to work on, if we host a series again, and anything specific you want to learn it from us. All right. Thank you, everyone. Hope you guys have a great date.